Well, hello there, friends and family. Just figured I'd check in with y'all today after doing that video in the wee hours of this morning, between 1 and 2 a.m. And I watched as Sally came ashore down there somewhere along Orange Beach in Pensacola. And they said, or mainstream media did, that it became a cat too. Now I watched that thing as she came ashore, and of course Hurricane Center was a little late in updating, and I never saw the winds get above 85. But according to mainstream media, she got up to 105. Now I'm going to admit, I watched a lot of videos this morning as I still continue to track it path up here. It continues northeasterly up into Alabama, and eventually it'll go through the middle of Georgia up in South Carolina. And what we've had ever since I did that last video, which I told you it just started raining, is we've had light to moderate to medium rain. We've seen, sustained winds, 13 miles an hour, with gusts up 26. Nothing to be concerned about here. But I do think some people missed my point about the video. I wasn't trying to diminish the fact that on the Alabama Gulf Coast, Florida Gulf Coast, there wasn't going to be damage. Oh, I said that. And I said, anyone that would experience the eye wall, where the highest sustained winds are always recorded, would definitely see some damage, roofing, weaker structures, like frame structures, facades, front of businesses, and canopies and such, and, possibly some weaker trees and that's what we've seen. And there has been considerable amount of damage from Sally down on the golf course, and of course I and all of y'all should be praying for those people, because that can be a catastrophic event in people's lives. My whole point to the video was, unlike years past, especially last few years, everybody and their brother that's anywhere within about 500 miles of these hurricanes start doing videos about will they survive, how will they prepare, and what they're doing, when in reality all they're going to see is nothing more than a summer rain shower. Now, one of the aspects, as I pointed out in the last video of Sally, is she's moving so slow. The storm surge came in. Now, it wasn't 20 feet like what was predicted, but it was considerable enough to flood low-lying areas, and then the torrential rainfall. And we're going to have a lot of rain from this, even up here. Nothing like they're having down around the coast right now, because Sally's about to move from the Florida Panhandle across into southern Alabama and on up, towards Miss Tom into Georgia. And as slow as she's moving, she's going to be dumping a whole lot of rain. So there is going to be flooding. There already is flooding in a lot of low-lying areas and areas prone to flooding along the rivers, lakes, and other low-lying areas. Now, up here where Miss Tom is, and that was the point I was trying to make, is, I'm up on some of the highest ground in this particular area. Piedmont Plateau. Don't get no higher around here unless you go more north. And as you go more north, you start to raise elevation, get into more of the higher foothills, the Appalachian Mountains, until you go further enough north, up into northeast Alabama, up into northern Georgia, you're in the Appalachian Mountains. Down where I'm at, we're not going to see no flooding where I'm at. We may see some flooding, along the rivers and along our lakes. My heart goes out to those people. And I pray that their property will be protected and their lives will not be impacted too much. And Lord knows I don't want anybody to lose their life. No. But I wanted to come on here today, show you where we're at, with light to moderate to medium rain. Breezy conditions. You know, it's a miserable day, all gray and overcast. But other than that, nothing that we wouldn't have saw any more severe than, you know, pop-up summer shower. One of those quite frequent, which it has been the last couple of weeks, afternoon thunderstorms. In fact, we've had far more severe winds and rainfall from some of those pop-ups than we're now experiencing. The only thing is, this is just continuing, and will continue all day today, all night, all tomorrow, and maybe into even Friday before it moves on into bulk of it into Georgia and then up in South Carolina. And I still believe it'll be a depression affecting North Carolina, Virginia, and points northeast. But I hope all of y'all get my intent. It wasn't to diminish that those poor folks down on the Gulf Coast weren't going to get hammered. I saw before I came out here that they monitored winds up to 105. Now, was that like Laura, who had 150 miles? No. 105s can tear up some stuff, and it surely has. And that. But here again, my whole point was this was going to be nothing of the scope of Laura. And it hadn't been. But for all of those out there that are impacted by it to some degree, and that, it's still devastating to their lives. And I hope you'll reach out, bend the knee, bow your head, and pray for them. That their lives are protected, their needs are met, and their hearts and souls are comforted by our Father. Because I have been. And I feel, you know, graced by God that all we're seeing is some rain and breeze. So, we got old Magoo in the house. He wanted to come in. He's doing that quite often now. Trix, for the most part, is allowing that. Now today she was a little grumpy. Well, I fed both of them in the kitchen. She hissed a little and growled. Of course, I shooed her. She was good with after that. She waited till Magoo got done eating. And then she went on in and ate hers. Maybe in time, she'll accept old Magoo. Spooky wanted to come in. He made it up to the back stairs, but he just couldn't bring himself to coming in. Cleo actually made it right up to the screen door. When I opened it, you know, I could sit there and pet her for a while. But nope, she wasn't going to come on in. Nope. She's a good mama. She ran back, take care of her kitties underneath the neighbor's shed. And Spooky right now is here somewhere with me. He was just here around my feet. Not sure where he's at now. Here under the carport. So that tells me things aren't all that bad. Animals know. I've always watched my animals. Cows, horses, my goats, my pigs, even my bunnies. And of course my dogs, back when I had dogs. They'll let you know when all hell's about to break loose, if you'll just watch them and recognize the signs. So y'all, I'm going to let you go now. Show you a little bit of this light rain. I hope all of y'all are doing well. That you're healthy, safe, and happy with your families and your loved ones. Until I see you on the next video, y'all take care out there. Stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you as you bless others. Yep, plants are loving it. They've been loving this water. We're starting to get more tomatoes. Yep. Aha, my fall planting of rattlesnake pole beans come along just fine. Yep, starting to climb up the old bamboo poles. And it may be just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plants. But as you see, that's more than enough for old Mr. Tom. And over here, you see how this here tomato plant is just all sprouted back up? This is the one that I pruned down. And you can see right here, see a stub right there? You see that groove? See, all this is coming up. Well, it's made it past the armyworm invasion. Starting to bloom. Got more tomatoes on it. And I've actually picked, oh, there's another one right there. See it? I've actually picked 4 or 5 off of this. They were off the long vines that I cut. Let them ripen, and then I cut them, just like I told you I would. Those were some tasty tomatoes. And this was a volunteer. Not only were they tasty, I mean, they were a tomato. I'm not sure you understand that. But tomato is, they have that acidic taste. Robust. They're not all that sweet. And that's what I enjoy. Maybe you don't. And of course the okra's been pumping it out. And then we got more over there by our timber pile. We've been getting, 6, 10, 12 okra pods a day. More than enough for me. In fact, I'm thinking about, since it's so chilly, and that's another thing, it's 66 degrees. Can you believe it? 66. Now that I didn't expect from Sally when she came on land. But that's where we're at. And then the old husky cherry, she's starting to pump them out. Here again, it survived the armyworm onslaught. It ain't had many. We were in mid-high 90s, low 100s there for quite some time. But now, with the temperature starting to get down, high 80s and low 70s at night, you're starting to see more tomato production, just like I told you. It's all about getting them through the summer instead of just letting them dry out, wither up, and die. Well, y'all, it's starting to rain more from light to that medium rain. And old Mr. Tom getting soaked. So, just want to give you a quick look at that south side driveway bed. And I ain't gonna go out in this one. As you can see, rain's coming down a little bit heavier now, and we're gonna see this. This feeder bands just keep passing through over the day and tonight into tomorrow. At 2 miles an hour. Sally, she ain't going away no time soon. But as always, old Mr. Tom and Kitty Crew, we're prepared. We got it covered. And that's the one thing I want to drive home to you. Always be prepared. Take nothing for granted, because when you do, your lives depend on others. And that's just not where you want to be. God bless y'all. Later. Sure am proud I got those trees pruned. It was costly, but well worth it. No worries now. No, never had no worries. God got my back. And he'll have yours if you just ask.